Do you remember on July 13th, 2014, seeing Jeffrey Lacasse at your place on Aqua Ridge? Do you even remember that evening?
I don't remember seeing him at my place because by that point we were kind of broken up, so I don't think I would have seen him at my place.
All right. So on that occasion, you couldn't have told him you wanted to share something with him in confidence?
I think that would be very unlikely. We had kind of broken up at that point.
And you couldn't have told him at that time the statement about your brother really did look into hiring the hitman?
I can't imagine I would have said that.
Wendi Adelson flat out denying that she ever talked about her brother looking into hiring a hitman with her ex-boyfriend. And I think at the time they're having this discussion, they're sort of breaking up as well. So it's really a strange scenario. Let's bring in our guests who are joining us tonight. Special guest in Miami, Florida, body language and communications expert and instructor at the Body Language Institute. Tiffany Lee is with us. And in McKinney, Texas, prosecutor, defense attorney, creator of the YouTube channel Jury Trial Mentor, Carl Steinbeck is with us. Great to have you both here. This is a big issue, Carl. Give us an idea. How important is this piece of evidence, this piece of testimony about this conversation between Wendi Adelson and her ex, Jeffrey Lacasse?
Well, we've heard a lot of testimony about there being a joke about hiring instead of hiring a hitman, that Charlie instead decided to buy a TV, which was much cheaper. But today what we heard, which was really a serious comment, was that it was dating back a year prior. Wendi had told her boyfriend at the time, and they were on the rocks somewhat, but she asked to speak to him in confidence. He said, okay. And then she told him this story about a year before. Charlie looked into hiring a hitman, and the amount was either $15,000 or $50,000. So that was very damning against Wendi today. And a lot of the evidence today that came out was really implicating both Charlie and his sister, Wendi.
Yeah, that was, yesterday it was all about Donna, today a lot about Wendi. All right, Tiffany, so we've seen a little bit of Wendi. I want to play Jeffrey Lacasse talking about this same conversation. He says it happened. She said it didn't. Who's telling the truth? Is he a bitter ex, or is he someone just coming in and telling the truth? Let's take a look.
She asked to speak to me confidentially in a very serious tone of voice, told me that Charlie had investigated all possible options to take care of the problem of Danny Markel, including hiring a hitman, which would cost about $15,000. And I later revised that and thought maybe it was $50,000, but the dollar amount was the only thing in question. She definitely said that Charles Adelson had looked into hiring a hitman to kill Danny Markel.
Okay, I know we're having some technical difficulties, Tiffany Lee, so you're kind of handcuffed, that you're not able right now to necessarily see some of this, but you can hear it. Did you hear anything in Jeffrey Lacasse's voice that makes you think one way or the other about the nature of his testimony here?
For sure. So I actually looked at some clips of him speaking before we hopped on, and what I do notice about him is he's extremely confident in what he's saying. He's doing some gestures that may suggest some uncertainty, but it's the moments that he's doing those movements, they're congruent with what he's saying. So like when he's saying, oh, it may have been, so like he's doing the shoulder shrug when he's saying it may have been, which is congruent with that being the actual truth. And something else that I've noticed when he's testifying, he does this little, and it's such a hard move to fake, so it's gonna be hard for me to show it to you guys, but he kind of does this kind of lip compression and then like mouth down, so kind of like this kind of move. I'm not sure, it may be, and may not be in this clip, but I'm sure it's in another one, because he does it quite frequently. And then he'll often kind of tilt his head to the side. And that is a sign of extreme emotional turmoil, which kind of goes along with what he's saying. He was in a relationship, he was happy with this woman, and then all of these other things started going on, and being sad and upset and possibly even angry about the situation. Okay,
let's take a look and a listen now. We're going to hear Jeffrey first, then we're going to hear Wendi talking about the nature of, was she cheating on him? Was she not cheating on him? Because to me, while this doesn't prove anything, I think it goes to the credibility of these two witnesses who are saying completely different things on the stand about who's being more truthful about what's going on here. Let's watch and listen.
She accompanied me on a work trip, and we ended up having a pretty big argument Saturday night in the hotel.
When did that have to do with you accusing her of seeing other men?
That was one of the issues. There'd been a lot of tension bubbling. That was the major issue. But just to give that some context, I suspected very strongly she was seeing other men. Of course, your office had confirmed recently to me that there was multiple online active dating accounts the whole time we were supposed to be exclusive. But just to give context to that, that was combined with Wendi promising me the world in June. Talking about me moving in, shouldn't get a Jeep, you should get a car, the kids' car seats will fit in. The kids should start calling you daddy was the most outrageous one. And so she's like throwing herself at me over the top in a way that felt totally disingenuous and fake. And at the same time, I think she's seeing other guys. So I just kind of boiled over. I tried to have like a serious, honest relationship conversation with her, and that didn't go very well.
So you were kind of, at least up until all of this started happening, you were kind of full steam ahead, and it seems like she was a little stop and go, hot and cold. Is that
It was
accurate?
a roller coaster, is what I would say. And I had felt since April that I was perhaps being strung along. I had that intuition. I couldn't fathom a reason why you would string a guy along like that. It didn't make any sense at the time.
You were asked about Jeffrey Lacoste and the way that your relationship ended. What is OkCupid?
OkCupid is a dating website.
Were you on that dating website?
I was.
Were you on that dating website at the time that you were dating Mr. Lacoste?
No, I wasn't.
And were you speaking, so I guess if you weren't on it, you weren't speaking to multiple men from the website during the time you were dating Mr. Lacoste. And I'll remind you that you provided your phone in this case, and it was cell-brighted, downloaded.
Objection, Your Honor. Argument withdrawn.
Didn't you just say that you weren't on OkCupid at the time that you were dating Jeffrey Lacoste?
I don't know when we say I officially stopped dating Jeff Lacasse, but there's a chance that, I don't remember in 2014 whether I had gotten the app and started talking to people before we officially broke up.
Okay, so my point is there's a chance that he was right. You were being unfaithful, or at least talking to other people. He had a reason to be jealous.
I think he had some serious jealousy issues that may or may not have been founded.
All right, let's start with Tiffany Lee. Tiffany, on this battle, on the breakup, on why these two, what did you see or hear from Jeffrey versus Wendi?
So this is the clip where you definitely see Jeffrey doing what we were talking about, that upside down mouth, where he's got his head cocked to the side and his lips are drawn down. So we spoke about that one. But what I'm hearing from Wendi is this hesitation, this extreme uncertainty, kind of trying to dance around answering the question. And I understand that it was, it's been a while, but you should have a little bit more clarity around when you started speaking to someone or when you finished speaking to someone during a situation like this. So I'm definitely thinking that she's withholding something, and that's not without being able to see her, but I definitely can tell from her tone and from the way she's not really answering the question and she's going around. And I'm kind of assuming that she may even be doing some shifty movements or looking up in different directions while she's answering, for sure.
And Carl, the significance here is that he believes that she was trying to set him up as a potential suspect in this murder, which makes this credibility battle incredibly huge inside the courtroom.
Right. It wasn't just the bumping off of Jeff Lacoste on that week of the murder a few days before, and her trying to find out the details of that trip up to Tennessee. But the way he described it, it really comes across like he was set up for months. And the longer that this looks like he was set up as the fall guy, the more it looks like this was a family hit job.
Call him daddy. That, to me, that doesn't, this is, there's more to this. All right. Stay where you are, folks. Stay where you are. Tiffany and Carl are going to stay with us. When we come back, more of the body language, and yet another ex on the stand. And what about this back and forth? What's going on in Tallahassee?
Well, the first thing I knew, popcorn went flying. And then I thought, oh my God, he shot him.
An argument over a cell phone and a bag of popcorn turned deadly at a movie theater.
Scott Rosenwasser told this jury this was murder.
It wasn't just one attack, and it wasn't just popcorn being thrown.
I'm looking up at this guy, and he looked like a monster standing there.
Victim to Verdict with Ted Rollins. All new Sunday night, 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Well, the first thing I knew, popcorn went flying. And then I thought, oh my God, he shot him.
An argument over a cell phone and a bag of popcorn turned deadly at a movie theater.
Scott Rosenwasser told this jury this was murder.
It wasn't just one attack, and it wasn't just popcorn being thrown.
I'm looking up at this guy, and he looked like a monster standing there.
Victim to Verdict with Ted Rollins. All new Sunday night, 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
State your name and spell your name.
Hi, I'm June Chinda. It's June, first name, last name Umchinda.
You don't have to, I don't think you're going to have to lean that close to the microphone.
Okay.
We can let you know if we can't hear you.
All right, like that.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I'm in South Florida.
Do you know Charlie Adelson?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. It was my alarm to come here, down here.
Is it silenced now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Wait, let me just check if it's new. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I don't want it to snooze. Okay.
It's okay. Do you know Charlie Adelson?
I do.
How do you know him?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
There she is, Charlie's ex-girlfriend at the time that he got arrested. They were together, testifying today inside the courtroom. Still with us, Carl Steinbeck, prosecutor and defense attorney, creator of the Jury Trial Mentor on YouTube. This is a fascinating witness for many reasons. One was that little strange moment of chemistry between these two. And like, she knows he's accused of being a mastermind of a murder for hire, yet still it seemed like they had their little moment there, Carl.
Right. She's done that before in previous trials as well. She basically called Charlie her perfect dream man of her life, or words to that effect, aside from the fact that he's accused of murdering somebody. So, but she was really backtracking and claimed to have no memory of a lot of things today. So it was really like pulling teeth to get her to say a lot of things that she previously told the law enforcement agents when they interviewed her after Charlie's arrest about 1.5 years ago.
And it was all about the way things changed once McBanoa, Katie, was arrested.
Right, right. That's really what a lot of the testimony today had to do with. Behavioral type testimony of both Wendi and Charlie's, things they either said or things they did right around the time of both the murder, as well as about the time that the other hitman got arrested, as well as the time that Donna, the mother, got bumped by the undercover agent.
So let's take a listen to more of June here talking about feelings.
Do you still have feelings for Mr. Adelson as we sit here today?
So he's my last serious boyfriend, so I would say yes, that there's something still there. I care about him, but obviously I haven't seen him in God knows how long.
That's Carl, that's like unbelievable, right? I mean, I don't know what else is going on in her life, but my goodness, like, wow.
Yeah, it's there's some talk on the internet that she had, received a car and a condo that's paid for, and so did that come from the Adelsons? But a lot of stuff about her loyalties to Charlie, I think, is going to play well and tie in nicely if they call Katie McBanwa to the stand, because they're going to think, why did she testify in 2 different trials that she had nothing to do with this, and now she's wanting to come clean? So I think the amount of power that Charlie had over these girlfriends with money, I think, is a common theme here.
Oh, and that could be some ammo for prosecutors. That's a great point, Carl. Tiffany Lee back with us. All right, Tiffany, great. Just in time, we're going to put on this on the screen right now the hitman, the admitted hitman, one of them, Luis Rivera, and his story. We know what Charlie is saying now. Charlie's saying that no, I was the victim of extortion. This wasn't murder for hire. Well, here's Luis telling his story.
Mr. Garcia, is he the one that came to you with the information about this job that needed to be done?
Absolutely.
And I say job, is that what this murder was to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So your motive for coming to Tallahassee and participating in this murder was money?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Did you know Dan Markel?
No.
Did you know anything about him?
No.
All right, so do you know why Garcia, or how Garcia came to know about this murder or this job?
Yes, girl.
Who's that?
Katie.
All right, so am I correct that Katie hired Garcia and Garcia hired you?
Yes, ma'am.
And who was to actually come to Tallahassee to do the murder?
It was me and him.
You and Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
But not Katie?
No.
So she stayed in Miami?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and who was to get the money once the job was done?
Katie.
All right, and did she get the money?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know where she got the money from? Do you know where she got the money from?
Yeah, the people.
Who are the people?
The dentist. I called them the dentist at that time.
The dentist?
Like Wendi and her brother.
Okay, and do you know which one of them actually handed Katie the money?
No, absolutely not.
And you weren't there for that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Tiffany Lee. Tell me about Luis and tell me about Charlie and his little reaction.
Lots going on here. So with Luis, right? This is what a truthful statement looks like. He's answering the questions. Simple. Yes, no. Now, one thing he is doing here is he's using a lot of yes, ma'am, and we can look at that 2 ways. A lot of ways is that's a sign of respect. However, it can also be something that we do when we're asked something uncomfortable or when we want to avoid having the spotlight on us. And then Charlie's reaction, you were mentioned earlier about him drinking water. And this is something that we tend to do unconsciously, right? So when we're stressed, when we feel aggravated, when we feel like we need to self-soothe, that's what that drinking of the water is. And then his reactions here, the eyes darting back and forth, the extra long blinks, the eye block, these are all signs of discomfort. These are all signs that he's hearing and seeing something that he does not like.
Carl Steinbeck, do you see any weakness in the hitman's testimony, any potential part of it that the defense may attempt to exploit?
No, I thought he was really good today. I thought all the witnesses are rock solid. They did a lot of damage to the defense. So they've had 2 really successful days in a row now.
And Tiffany, I know we had some technical issues, but I don't know if you had a chance to see the back and forth between June and Charlie today. The smiles, the little giggles in the middle of a murder trial.
I did.
Any thoughts there?
Well, with June, her entire testimony, she's very, very giggly. And a lot of times we tend to do this when we're nervous, when we're uncomfortable, when we don't necessarily want to speak about something. And the fact that he was in the room looking directly at her and, they're having this conversation, I'm interested to see how this plays out with her testimony.
Yeah. Carl, I don't think they have conjugal visits down in Florida, do they?
No, not for somebody like Charlie in pretrial. confinement.